Let's everybody grab our bow bar for this next section. Let's connect our bow bar to a low anchor point.
Alright, we're going to work some mid-grip presses for this exercise, guys. So what we've got to do is we've got to hold the mid-zone of the bow bar. And you want to make sure your elbows are tucked in by your ribs and you're pushing straight. Now, your stance is a front stance or a lunge stance so that you've got a nice heavy base and you can just pump them out. Your turn. Overhead triceps extensions for this exercise, guys. And you want to make sure your elbows are by your ears and you're holding the narrow zone in your bow. So you want to make sure you're pushing straight up without any movement in your elbows. Your turn. Alright, combining squats with some knee strikes for this exercise, guys. So just dropping down into that squat, and on your way up, we're throwing a knee strike straight down the middle. Now you can see the bow bar is supported in the back of the head, and just relaxed arms, relaxed shoulders. Work on that squat, pump out those knee strikes, and that's pretty much it. Your turn. Let's everybody repeat the last 3 exercises. Working some bent over rows for this exercise. So you can see that we're holding a fairly wide squat stance and we're leaning forward with a neutral spine. Now you want to make sure you're holding the mid zone of the bow bar and pulling straight back towards your belly button. You want to make sure your elbows are tucked in as you do it. Your turn. Squat elbow strikes for this exercise. So you can see, guys, that we're dropping down into some squats from roughly shoulder width, maybe slightly wider if you like, and we're twisting into those high elbow strikes. Now the elbow strikes should be at roughly face height, and extend your arms back out before you go into the next one. Alternate from left to right. Your turn to try the exercise. Working some basic biceps curls from a narrow zone position. So what we want to do with this one is just make sure your elbows are stationary and they're in front of you, and the whole movement is coming from your elbows to your hand, which basically means your forearms and your biceps doing all the work. You can see we've got a nice sturdy base as well. So using a front stance or a lunge stance is going to keep you nice and heavy. Your turn to try this one. Let's everybody repeat the last 3 exercises. Working some tabletop crunches for this exercise. So just allowing the bow bar to rest on your chest and you're holding the narrow zone with your hands. You can see I'm holding a perfect tabletop and you want to make sure you keep that in place throughout the whole set. Alright, your turn to try this one. Working some Pilates hundreds for this one. So what you want to do is you want to make sure your head's lifted, your legs are nice and straight so they're not in a typical tabletop as you would when you're normally performing this exercise. Now we just want to make sure we're just pushing up and down and just keeping the consistency throughout the set. Your turn to try it. Okay, working some oblique crunches for this exercise. So basically this is just like doing an abs crunch, except your knees are lying flat, pointing out on one side. So we're going to hit one side for one set, and then we're going to hit the other side for the next. All you've got to do is just make sure your arms are rested on your chest and just really focusing on squeezing those abs and obliques. Your turn. Working some tucks from a vertical bar position. So you're just holding the bar nice and vertical. It's pressuring your triceps a little bit while you're working your lower abs. Now you can see that Sabina's pulling right into her chest and then pushing out, making sure she's got straight legs with pointy toes right at the end of it. Your turn to try this one.
Well done for finishing your workout, guys. Please take a few minutes to stretch and cool your body down now.